Hello, hello. I just finished stream a little bit ago, and I took a break, had a snack, was getting ready to, wind down, have a nice evening. But something happened during stream today that, I'll be honest, has me a little bit baffled, a little bit confused, a little bit wondering if maybe I'm going crazy here. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. And I wanted to watch back this game with you guys. So, starting out, some things you need to know. First of all, the me on the screen, it is not the one recording this right now. The me on the screen is the one that was streaming. This is my very first Chucky game. I didn't play him in the PTB. I didn't play him at all leading up to this. And this is the first game of the entire stream. So, I also did not read any of the perks. I didn't prepare for this game at all, aside from putting on Adapt and hitting ready. And so, I obviously had a very rough beginning to this game. I was still figuring out the power, was figuring out what the perks did. I was like this. I fully expected not to get my adept this game. I was just kind of fucking around. And as you'll see in a second, they bring me to the game. They send an offering. Motherfucking thing. Right. Like I got. Okay, well, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think we're getting our adept this game. I don't. I have a sneaking, ignore the coughing, I'm suspicion that this may result in a 4-man out. We'll have to get a feel for it. We'll have to get a feel for it.
I'm having deja vu.
Wait, no, she does sound like Tiff. That sounded hella like Tiff. So, the beginning of this game, like, these guys are stealthing out the beginning of this game, which isn't a terrible plan. Yeah. But I struggle to find people. A little weird, for a while. Like, hearing it through other people's, like, streams and stuff. But, like, in my ears, she definitely sounds like Tiff. I wander around for a good little while. Just I have no idea where my for a single person. I checked all of the gens. I pop through the bathroom. My music is also maybe a little too loud in my ears. But I have always ignored that before, and I'm not gonna stop doing it now. Eventually, I wrap around and hear this gen, so I go up and find a Michaela. That missed? Bro, I collided with her. Obviously, I'm not used to the power. I don't even know how it works at this point. So, Literally collided with her and slid off. This is gonna be a bit of a rough chase. What was that, game? What was that? It's definitely a little fucking funny. Okay, I meant to slice and dice, but I just did a lunge. Yeah, that's not my name in this. Okay, I'm just kind of messing around. I'm still learning the power. I'm still learning everything. I'm just, having a chase with them anyway. What was that? Why didn't I go into the pallet? I'm so not used to this power at all. Why didn't I go into the pallet? As you can see, this is becoming a very long chase. This is not working. Luckily, Michaela fucks up here. And that was just I managed to get her. One gen pops. Alright. And I think another one pops too. Fairly. You gotta back up some other. Fairly soon after she gets hooked. Or while she's on the hook. This is a little rough. This is like I think I'm having fun, I think. But this definitely takes a bit of getting used to for sure. I go downstairs, I check my gens. They pull the Michaela off the hook, not far from me. She's over here. So I go slice and dice, I go back upstairs, hopefully trying to catch the gamer that did the unhooking. I don't see them. saved this. I don't see Scratchy's leading away from the hook going the other way, so I go where the Michaela went. I guess we're going over, hoping that she's meeting up with someone to heal, which she did. Her and the Ellen were both here. So I drop down. Ellen disappears. I don't know where she went. I couldn't tell you where she went to this day.
Ellen.
But Ellen's the one that I want. Did she hop in a locker? Where's Ellen? I spend a while just looking for this Ellen. I can't find her, so eventually I guess we're getting a Michaela again. I just get the Michaela. Because she's just vaulting over and over again in front of me. She just fucking dipped. And soon, the Michaela just gives up on us. She elected that she no longer wanted to be in this game, which is, you know, it's her right to do that.
Come out, Vaeriti.
Okay, bye, Michaela's dead. That wasn't the intended effect, but I'll fucking take it. So, you know, technically, I tunneled the Michaela. It happens. It's a game. So, she drops with 2 gens left to do. And I have... Now that she's dead, I have 4 hooks once I cook this Michaela. 2 gens left, only 4 hooks. That I have no reason to win this game. But, because the Michaela gave up, if I can find... Because the Michaela gave up, this game resulted in a 4-man. I got a 4K, and I got my adept. Entirely because the Michaela gave up. We were on the game, with a killer I'm unfamiliar with perks that I'm unfamiliar with a strong start from the survivors. The only reason I won this game is because Michaela gave up. I hate when gamers give up. I hate it when I'm playing Survivor. I hate it when I'm playing Killer. Because that's not a win that you've earned at that point. If a gamer leaving is the reason you won, then it's, you know, like I take it. I'll accept the win because, you know, I'm not gonna be upset about it. But ideally, I prefer games where, you know, everyone gives their all, everyone tries their hardest, and the end result is something that everyone knows they did their best doing, you know? And so, you know, we take the win. I say GG's well played. The one Fang says GG's as well. But then, you know, I like to look at people's builds. I like to see what people are running. Do they not know about the made for this nerf, or? I think nowadays you're running made for this with that hard, no? To get value. And the Michaela comes into chat. I mean, to be fair, I couldn't find anyone else, gamer. I ran around looking for Ellen, but you were the only one that was still there. So I took the one that I could find. Yeah. I mean, Ellen disappeared. You were right there in my face running around. I don't know. Do you want me to walk to the other side of the map to find someone when there are already 3 gens done? I'm sorry you ended up getting hooked again right after you got unhooked, but... It's just a game, gamer. I mean, I didn't. I was headed upstairs to check the gens, and you ran past me. And so I went back. In all fairness to the Michaela, I do think I misremembered this a little bit. I did kind of go back to the hook. Not that that's a crime. Back towards the hook to look for the person who unhooked you, didn't see them, so I assumed they were there to heal you, so I then went where you went. And you were there with the person. I don't know if they unhooked you, but the Ellen was there, so I was trying to go for the Ellen, but she disappeared and you didn't. So I went for you, gamer. Does it suck? Sure, but did you want me to wander around for another 20 seconds looking for people when gens are getting popped? I'm going for an adept. If you're doing adept, you can't exactly play nice. But how you get adept is murdering all 4 survivors. That's literally how you get adept. Nope. They changed that a while ago. So obviously this is a gamer that either, you know, hasn't played in a while or doesn't pay attention to the patch notes or what else. But, you know, they are obviously referring to when you had to get 4 eerie emblems to get an adept. It's a change they made a little while ago now. Not insanely forever ago, but it's been a good couple of months, I think, since they made that change. Now, all you need to get a adept is to get a foreman. If you're playing survivor, all you need to do is escape. If you're playing killer, the way you get your adept is you kill all 4 survivors. 3K doesn't count. You have to get a 4K to get adept. Like, I'm sorry you got hooked again and then decided to drop. I am, but at the end of the day, everyone else was being stealthy and I couldn't find anyone. I mean, I hate to break it to you, but like, tunneling and camping is just a way to play the game. I'll be honest, I don't do it very often, but if I'm going for an adept, like, I don't know what you want me to do. So, as I said, I don't tunnel and camp very often. We have a tradition on my stream where whenever an event goes on, I let everyone go. I do not play this game to quote unquote win. Like, Leith points out a little bit later that this Michaela right here is actually the very first time since I started playing this game that I sort of willingly tunneled someone. And it's not that I'm anti-camping or tunneling, you know, I think every single player in this game, you know, has the right to do whatever it is they need to do to win the game. I don't have an issue with it. I don't care about winning. I prefer to have fun, and, you know, tunneling and camping, for me personally, I don't find that fun. So I don't do it. I don't have an issue with it though. Like, again, I'm sorry you had a rough game, but I don't see where you have any kind of argument here. You're entirely entitled to not like that kind of gameplay. You are perfectly within your right to be frustrated at, you know, getting tunneled or camped. But at the end of the day, that's the best way to guarantee a win in this game, is to tunnel and camp someone out. Which, by the way, I wasn't doing. Do you know what spawn camping is? You know, obviously they meant space camping. They, you know, I don't think playing, I don't think camping or tunneling is playing cheap or dirty. You know, it's just a way to play the game. It's a strategy, as some people say. It's, you know, can it be frustrating? Sure, but I'll be honest, this gamer right here obviously has an issue with camping and tunneling. They are TTV. I'm gonna cover their name, because I don't want anyone, you know, going and giving them hate or anything. You know, I think they're perfectly within their rights to be, you know, annoyed at being tunneled. I don't think they're perfectly within their rights to be so annoyed about it that they come into my chat and start accusing me of being, like, I don't know, a terrible person or something, just because they didn't actually say that, but that's the way it feels, you know. Just because I hooked them a little too soon after they were unhooked. But they obviously have quite the issue with tunneling and camping, because their about section on Twitch is literally, if you're going to return a hook, I'm going to return the lobby. If you can't play fair, you won't be playing with me. But you're probably used to that, or you would have friends that you want to play with. Ha 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 ha. So, you know, obviously they have a bit of a problem with tunneling and camping. They don't like when killers go back to hook. Again, they're perfectly entitled to feel that way. You know, it's their game as much as it's my game. They can enjoy whatever playstyle they enjoy. Everyone else can enjoy whatever playstyle they enjoy. But what I don't understand is if we go back a little bit to the end screen. Oh, back a little bit more. This gamer is running Distortion, Kindred, Bond, and Open-Handed. Which is perfectly acceptable to run, you know, you can run whatever perks you want. But if you're so anti-tunneling and camping, if you're so against it that you immediately drop, which, because I assume this is a pattern, given the whole, you know, if you're going to return to hook, I'm going to return to lobby. I'm going to assume that this is a habit of theirs, that they drop whenever they're tunneled or the killer returns to hook. So, you know, given this penchant that they have for, you know, given this hatred that they have for this playstyle, which again, they're fully entitled to have, why is this the build they're running? Like, run some off the record DS, like dead hard. Like, you're not helping yourself, gamer, and you're certainly not helping your teammates. And I think that's the big issue that I have in all this, you know, because this person can have. Let me come back. Hi. Yo, this person is allowed to dislike this playstyle. This person is allowed to, you know, be upset at getting out of the game early. They're perfectly entitled to feel that way. I have no issue with them feeling that way. But I struggle to be sympathetic to a gamer who abandons their team just because they didn't like getting tunneled. You know, I say it constantly. I mention it practically every stream at this point, you know, because tunneling camping is a big topic in the DPD community. It probably always will be to a certain extent because, you know, I don't think either side of the argument is necessarily wrong, you know. Survivors are allowed to feel that it's unfair to be, you know, kicked out of the game so fast. They're allowed to feel that it's a little mean, it's a little rude to, you know, be tunneled, be camped, be, you know, like not be allowed to play the game as they would like to play it. You know, they're allowed to be frustrated with that. They're allowed to be upset by it. But at the same time, killers are allowed to do whatever they need to do to win the game, same as survivors do. You know, they had to prove themselves this game. They brought a map offering. They had, you know, the Michaela was running Distortion, i.e. completely removing any aura reading aspects that my perks would have. Did I have aura reading? I think technically one of them does. I still don't know the perks. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. But, you know, that's if I had brought an aura reading build, guess what? The Michaela completely got rid of any chance I had of catching her on that. Unless I was running, you know, a whole bunch of aura reading and just blasted through the Distortion. And, you know, that's fine. People are allowed to do that, you know. But I get so annoyed a little bit when people want to be mad at either side for, you know, doing their best to get their best result in completing their objective, while at the same time, you know, this Michaela in particular, like, she gave up. You know, she got on a second hook and she dropped. She skipped her skill checks, so she died immediately. And that's just something that I personally have an issue with, you know? Like, I personally believe if you're gonna queue up for a game of Survivor, and keep in mind, I'm a killer main. I play killer mostly. I'm playing a lot of Survivor lately, but I am a killer main. And nothing annoys me more, in a killer game especially, when one of the survivors just gives up. They DC, you know, they kill themselves on hook, they, you know, they run at the killer and get themselves dead immediately, you know. Because it's one thing to give up on killer. If you're giving up on killer, you know, the only person whose game you're really affecting is yours. Because your score really only matters to you. What you put into the game really only matters on your side. But when you play Survivor, you have a whole team. You have 3 other gamers who are counting on you to, you know, do your job. And if you're not good at chasing, that's fine. Run a gen build, do some gens. If you are good at chasing and don't want to do gens, fine. Run the killer for 5 gens. You know, but it's just this mentality of like selfishness that this Michaela has, where if she gets tunneled or the killer comes back to hook, you know, she leaves. She's done. She's not like at that point, play killer. If you want to only look after your own ass, you know, play killer. That way you're the only ass that matters. But if you're on a whole team, you know, it bothers me. It bothers me. And I don't like, does it bother anybody else that's a thing? Because that's so common in this game, I feel. Like, I don't understand why you're gonna be so selfish on the role that requires you being a team. You know, why not play killer? You can be selfish as you want on killer. You know, you can camp, you can tunnel, you can you can do whatever you want on killer. Like, if you want to just do whatever you want, why are you playing the role that requires you to work as a team? It's baffling to me. It's baffling. I'm lost. I'm confused. I'm baffled. I'm shook. I would like some answers. So I don't know. I don't know.